Today, approximately 10:30 a.m., the United States Marshals Service delivered inmate Rondell Reed to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Upon arrival, inmate Reed was immediately strip searched, immediately placed into solitary confinement where he will remain. He is under 24-hour observation. The lights remain on in his solitary confinement cell 24 hours a day. All of his actions are documented every 15 minutes by an Indian River County deputy. Inmate Reed's cell contains a stainless steel toilet, a stainless steel sink, and a solid one-piece plastic bed. This is all that is permitted in inmate Reed's cell until further notice. Inmate Reed will undergo a thorough medical exam today as well as a mental health exam, and he will remain in maximum custody until further times when different security concerns are determined. Inmate Reed currently weighs 165 pounds, which is a reduction of 15 pounds since on or about October 24th. Any questions?
This maximum security, have you ever had to have someone under those conditions in recent
Yes.
months? Okay.
Yes. In fact, Leviticus Taylor is in a very similar situation.
What have you learned since you've captured Reed? Before there was a lot of, you weren't sure. Can you just give me his travels again and all the way back here today?
No, we do know that upon his capture, that inmate Reed was in Warren County, Ohio. Shortly thereafter, the U.S. Marshals took custody of him and ultimately delivered him to the state of Florida, and this morning delivered him to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office.
Who were the other inmates he was transported with today?
I'm not certain on that.
Why are you taking extra precautions?
Well, obviously, inmate Reed's history certainly has alarmed us that he has special attention given to him, much like dozens of other inmates that are currently incarcerated at the Indian River County Jail. Inmate Reed's prior actions certainly allow us to continue with this until his court dates, until his court actions are resolved, and he is no longer an inmate at Indian River County Correctional Facility.
How long will he be in the solitary cell, or will he be there till he's sent out of here, or will he ever be back in the general population?
No, he will not be in the general population, and he will remain in solitary confinement until upon his court hearings and ultimately his transfer to the Department of Corrections.
What have you learned since Reed's capture with regards to how the escape took place, from looking at it from a manpower standpoint, protocols and processes?
Well, one thing that we've learned in the last 18 or 19 days is, in fact, that we can train every day for natural disasters, for commercial airliner crashes, for nuclear disasters, but until you get that phone call at 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the morning and you have the team and you have the action plan in place, does it really become a reality? Again, we can practice all day and have drills all day and mocks all day, but I believe it's a true testament of the men and women of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office on how they reacted with obviously the successful ending.
Has there been any determination in terms of whether the guard who was supposed to be doing these flesh checks, was there any wrongdoing on the part of any staff at this point?
The next phase of this entire investigation, of course, is an internal review of all policies, procedures, training, as well as any internal affairs investigations among personnel.
Is that ongoing now, or?
It is.
Okay.
Do you know how much his jailbreak cost you?
We have not figured out the entire cost yet.
Have you determined his Rondell's moves the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before he would have stolen the car in Sebastian and headed north?
We don't have all of the details, as we know that Dodge pickup that he fled in was stolen Wednesday evening between the hours of 5 and 8 p.m.
What did he say to you guys when you guys went up here to talk to him? Glad to see you guys?
I don't think he was too glad to see us, but that is part of the, of course, the escape investigation, and there will be escape charges obviously pending. In fact, those have been effectuated, so He will be facing charges of escape in addition to continuing on his first-degree murder charge that he is awaiting trial.
For the maximum security, how many corrections deputies does it take for the 15-minute checks, the surveillance, anything?
Similar to any juvenile that's in custody, the maximum custody as well as juveniles are required a 15-minute watch, logged and documented. And I can tell you that inmate Reed is under 24-hour surveillance. The lights do not go off in his cell. Very, very limited activities in his cell. He will have extremely limited privileges until the resolution of his cases.
Can you talk about his demeanor at all today once he was back in your custody and back inside the jail that he escaped from? Has he said anything? Has he acted any certain way?
No, nothing descriptive.
Have deputies or investigators been in contact with Reed? Do they continue to talk with him with regards to the escape or anything along those lines, and has he been cooperative?
Well, as you know, we had 2 detectives travel to Ohio and interview him upon his capture in Ohio. To my knowledge, there hasn't been any independent discussions with him today. I presume that there will be some of those in the future.
Was he cooperative with the detectives that went up to Ohio?
To my understanding, he was cooperative in Ohio.
Can you list off the charges that he's currently facing? You mentioned escape. Can you list off the charges that he's currently facing?
Those are the only local charges that we have in Indian River County are the escape charges, which, as you know, a warrant was issued for his arrest early that Monday morning, and that was served today.
Has the stolen pickup out of Sebastian been located?
I'm not certain.
Sheriff, your description of Rondell Reed, put it all in a nutshell for me.
Rondell Reed being a 52-year-old male, career criminal, self-proclaimed car thief, used to being well-traveled, eluding the law, committing crimes to survive, certainly a professional criminal who now, again, his luck has run out. He's back in our custody and will remain in our custody until at which point he is tried, convicted, and sent to the Department of Corrections.
Obviously, you're very relieved. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Very relieved. It's been an extremely long 2.5 weeks from the moment of the escape until today when Rondell was brought back into our custody. Very relieved and very proud of the actions of the agency with respect to being able to capture 2 violent criminals in a relatively short amount of time. Very proud of their efforts, and as important, very, very proud of the relationship that we have with the media that got our word out consistently, got our word out to different elements of the society, which certainly aided in the clues and the tips that led to the capture of both Leviticus Taylor and Rondell Reed.